promised y'all a story time. Seriously, it scared me out of calling myself a social worker. Let's get into the story. Actually using the title of social work, working so hard for it, right? Putting in all the years, all the studying, the exams, the internships, just everything all together. I've always been really proud to call myself a social worker, and I am still today, but I did get a little shaky back in the day. Texas is a title protected state, which is where I reside and live, born and raised. That means that you cannot call yourself a social worker, apply for social work careers or jobs unless you have that license. It can be an LBSW, an LMSW, or an LCSW, but you have to have your license in order to call yourself a social worker. So that put away to the side, I want to dive into what it means to actually call yourself a social worker. Because, I went through grad school and it was always pushed upon me that I had to go for that license. That's why when anyone ever asks me, is a license truly worth it? My first question is there title protection in your state? If so, then yes, a license is worth it because that's how you unlock all the jobs and career possibilities that are available to you. If not, that's a whole nother story. However, actually picking up that phone during my first few years as a school social worker and calling myself such, I struggled quite a bit because I got a few responses. The first was this kind of like fear, right? This underlying fear. Why are you calling me? What is the problem? What's the issue? What am I doing wrong? There's a lot of judgment and stigma associated with the social work title. The second is this anger because of judgment possibly, or because of past experiences, negative experiences within maybe CPS or with social workers, case managers in general. Parents tend to get really hostile and upset. And that's exactly what happened to me. I went up to the front office, introduced myself as a school social worker, and I got a parent just berating me, yelling. I remember her being, I'm 4'11". Everyone's taller than me, but she was much taller than me. And she just had some choice words. I could tell that I triggered her just by saying my title. And she eventually shared with me a deeper story, a deeper trauma with social work that she had had in her past. But had I gotten hostile as well and returned that with hostility, it wouldn't have been a good situation. It could have been really, really worse. But what I did was I kind of took a step back. I refrained from what normal human reaction is, which is to, defend yourself, right? Fight, flight, freeze. Well, I took a breath. So my conversation went a little like this. Yes, ma'am, I am a social worker. However, my intention is not to harm you or your child. I want to be sure that I am the link right now between the home and school. I'm so sorry that you've had that experiences with social workers in your past. I assure you that I am not attempting to harm your family or your child whatsoever. I have their best interests in mind, which is why I'm calling you in. I'm here to partner with you so we can figure out how to best serve her. There are some issues happening here. I truly appreciate you coming back to my office so we can talk some more in private. Everything you mentioned to me will be confidential. That basically means that what you say will remain between you and I. So please let me know how that sounds to you. After that, I did consider whether I wanted to present myself as a social worker. It is scary. You never know what reaction you're going to get. And I guess that's what I learned. First and foremost, from this lesson, I learned that not everyone has or knows exactly what a school social worker does or what their intentions are. I know, all my ethics and values, all of that kind of stuff. I took the jurisprudence exam. She did not. Our parents did not. Our students did not. So I can't assume that they would know any of what I stand for, nor can I judge them for not knowing that as well. So do I call myself a social worker? Do I go by that title? Yes and no. It depends on the situation. There are days and times, I'd say 85% of the time I will use the title of social worker when I'm calling home. However, there are moments and calls that I know are gonna be a little more high tense. The call is not gonna require my credentials, my title to push anything along. It might even cause more chaos, more misunderstanding and miscommunication. So I represent myself as a school staff. My name is blah, blah, blah. I'm calling on behalf of blah, blah, blah campus. That's kind of how I make that call. Towards the end of the call, once I know that the walls are down, that, you know, there's some comfort level there, I built rapport. Most parents will ask, who exactly am I speaking to, right? So that they can take their notes or whatnot. Or I might just mention towards the end, okay, ma'am, it's been great talking to you again. My name is Lauren Gutierrez. Once again, I work at blank, blank, blank campus, and I am a school social worker, right? Then I kind of slide it in there at the end. And like I said, it's not all the time, but you know, we got to know what our audience is. We got to know where the client is. We always have to start where the client is. So that's my story. I hope this helps you a little bit. If anything, I hope it kind of gives you a script that you can use if you find yourself kind of stuck in this sticky situation or triggering a client or a family or a parent with just the title of social work, right? It's one of those things, one of those struggles, social work life struggles. All right, guys, that is all for today's video. I'm gonna have some other videos coming next week that I hope that you can subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss them. Until next time, I'm wishing you social work success. Bye, guys.